What's going on, everybody?
Welcome back.
We're back with another sports discussion. This is about the Red Sox. Before we get into it, if you guys like this video, give us a like and subscribe.
Hold on, time out.
What?
No, we can continue. The Red Sox just signed Jonathan LaCroix. He's a all-star catcher, 2-time all-star.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about
Can we add him into this one?
Sure. I don't know.
Okay.
Probably have to look up as we're sitting here.
All right. Well, let's talk about
anyway,
Brock
so we're gonna talk about the Red Sox. First, let's talk about
Brock Holt.
Brock Holt went to the Milwaukee Brewers.
I think that's a major blow.
See, I don't really care.
Are you serious?
Okay, he's a utility player. I mean,
He's good.
He would get injured a lot. I mean, there was plenty of times where he would miss quite a few games from what I remember. I'd have to look up.
He didn't get hurt that much.
You're gonna make me look this up, aren't you?
I don't remember him getting hurt.
Look up Brock Holt.
Injured?
Games last year. See how many games he played last year.
How many games are in the MLB?
I forget how many exactly there are on top of my head.
Isn't there like 300 of them? Where would it be? 87 games in 2019.
Out of how many?
So he only played 89 MLB. How many games in a season?
Sorry, just trying to find. He's trying to make sure we have the right number here. I don't remember how. There's a lot. There's more than 89 games in the season.
162 games.
And he played 89.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not too broken up about Brock Holt getting
but he's good.
When he plays, he's hurt a lot.
Well, yeah,
he's not like
he's a beast.
It's not like he's a like an amazing player. He's good, but he's not spectacular. Like he's not like one of their superstars. He's just a good player. He's not a great player. He's not a Hall of Famer. He's just a good player, but he's hurt a lot. So people are making a big stink about
He's probably hurt because he goes all out.
I don't care what reason he gets hurt. The fact that he misses a ton of games, and he's just a good player. He's not an amazing player. Like I mean, he's decent. Don't get me wrong, he's a decent player, but he's not. People make it sound like like I don't know, like it was Big Papi. They was playing for the Red Sox, and the Red Sox let him go. Trading him to the Milwaukee Brewers. It's like night and day, completely different players. Like Brock Holt is a good player, but that's about it. He's not as spectacular, and he gets hurt a lot. So I'm really not too upset about Brock Holt getting. I mean, you could find other utility players that won't miss any games that are good players. There's plenty out there.
Okay then.
That's just my feeling. I mean, just like people are upset about Mookie Betts and David Price. David Price, goodbye. See you later.
I agree with you on that.
I was kind of like done with David Price. He's I'm trying. Sometimes these things happen. I couldn't stand.
He's making up excuses.
Yeah, I couldn't stand to listen to David Price.
He was terrible.
One more day. Last year was like his best season, and it was just an okay season. It wasn't a spectacular season.
Probably the World Series. The year they won the World Series, probably the best year he had. Otherwise, out of all the years he's been there, it was terrible.
I think Boston was not the right city for him to be playing, and then. I don't know. I'm not going to.
I don't think it has anything to do with the city. It's just the way he pitches.
I think you know. I think the fans in Boston are tough fans, and I don't think he can handle it. He can't handle dealing with the media. He thinks they're probably too hard on him or whatever.
Well, that's how.
He was playing down for Tampa, and the media is not the same as here. I mean, they're not. I mean, Boston's pretty harsh. Fans pretty harsh. Media they expect the world, and if you don't give it to them, they get all upset. So I'm not upset to see him go. As for Mookie Betts, good luck in his $400 million. I mean, the Red Sox did give him, what was it, $27 million? I think that they didn't want to give him $400 million. I don't think last year he had a good season, last year, but his numbers dropped off in the previous season. So giving a guy $400 million over whatever, I don't know how many years it would be, 10, 12 years. I mean, that's a long time. And to not know how he's going to perform, I mean, over 10 years, that's all. I just can't see I know a lot of teams are doing these 12-year, 10-year contracts. I just if something happens like Pedroia, I mean,
He's done.
Yeah,
he's all done.
imagine if they sign somebody for that long and a Pedroia thing happens to the person. And
he only played like 2 games.
Yeah,
that was it.
They get this injury and they just can't get rid of it, and and suddenly you're on the books. That's a huge amount of money for a long time.
He's had, I think, like 10 leg surgeries in the past a year to 2 years.
He should just retire. I think he's all done. I don't know why he keeps trying to come back.
That's how Jerry Remy retired.
Yeah, so I mean,
Jerry Remy had the exact same injuries. I mean, they tried everything, and the doctors are like, "Yeah, you can't play. Your leg's just gonna keep breaking." And
so I don't know. I mean, I'm curious how Mookie Betts going to do with the Dodgers this season. I'll be watching, see how he does. Like I said, last year his numbers dropped off, and we'll have to see how he performs this year. I mean, he was good for the Red Sox. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know if he's worth the $400 million and signing the guy for 10, 12, 13 years, whatever. I think somebody I heard 12 years, and that's a long time for any player. And to
how long? 12 years, $40 million.
Yeah, I forget what it was.
That's not a bad offer.
10, 12 years, $35 million, something like that per year.
That's how much he wanted?
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know if that's exactly how much he wanted, but that's what I heard.
Who offered him the years? He asked for that many years?
I don't know. I just remember that's what I heard. So I don't know exactly who said it. I have to go back and check it out, but I'm not going to look right now. But that's what I heard, which isn't a tremendous one. I think it's more the years than anything. I mean, if you sign these guys for a decade, I mean, most players don't go a decade without getting some type of injury. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the Red Sox right now are a mess. I mean,
they're not going to do well.
I mean, I
hate saying it.
I mean, I don't know who they got in spring training that's they haven't made it. Haven't made a big deal about. Like these young kids that suddenly show up and they perform really well and they get surprised. I don't know.
And they don't even have a head coach. They have an acting head coach.
Yeah, so
they hired the bench coach of the Red Sox to take over.
I mean, they went from different GMs over the years. They went from, what was his name?
Terry Francona to
the GM.
John Farrell.
The GM. They got the
the Epstein guy.
No, it was Epstein. Then it was I can't remember his name. We were just talking about it earlier.
He left, didn't he?
Charrington.
Yes,
and
him.
There was
this guy that just came in.
No, and the guy who the guy before the guy who Dombrowski.
Yes, him.
So it's like
he was terrible.
You go from from conservative to spending to conservative. It's like, and then you get this other young kid who seems like he's probably going to be conservative too, and they kind of they're not gotten the team. I mean, they only got rid of 3 players that I know of, and one of them is only supposed to be the really amazing player, which is Mookie Betts. I mean, David Price, I think, he's not getting any younger. I forget how many years he's been in the league for, and then Brock Holt again, who's injury prone.
I mean, I was watching the ownership of the Red Sox had a news conference, and they were talking about spring training, and then they brought up about the Betts and David Price agreement, and John Henry, he's like, well, we thought it would be best for the team. I mean, to get rid of them, and but he's like, well, we'll still be good without them. I don't know. I mean, you basically have no head coach. You basically have no good players. Your bullpen is still a mess. I mean, I don't know. I think they're gonna start off terrible the first 3 months, and then wait until it gets closer to the end, and they'll start playing good. That's how I feel it.
Yeah,
they'll turn things around in the middle of the season.
Well, I don't know. We'll see how they do. They weren't that good last year.
Oh no, we were talking about Red Sox ownership, about the little news conference meeting they had. And they asked John Henry about Mookie Betts and David Price about what his thoughts were on sending them to Los Angeles, and John Henry was like, "Oh well, we thought it would be a good decision for the organization."
Yeah.
So, but it's like you just got rid of. I mean, forget Price. I mean, you just got rid of one of your best players, and now he's gone. The the other guy with Brock Holt, he's gone. Pedroia's possibly going to retire.
Yeah.
Oh, this team's falling apart. They're not going to do well. And you have no head coach.
Well, they didn't do well. Didn't do well last year either.
Yeah, because Cora got caught cheating.
Well, yeah, but that was after the season. But they performed, far worse than they should have. They had a much better team than what they had out there. Whatever you call it.
They were in like third place last year, and then the following year, which they won the title, had the best record in MLB history. I think
but that happened to be the year that they got caught cheating.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and then they just signed this guy, who's a
Jonathan LaCroix.
Yeah, but he's old. And he's a backup.
Well, it's a minor league
old.
deal.
Yeah, so that again,
$1.5 million he would get if he makes the roster.
So that's a nothing deal. So they haven't done anything yet.
Yeah, so that basically if he doesn't make it, they don't get him.
Yeah, they're gonna be trash this year. Again.
They're gonna be terrible.
That's what I think, anyways.
All right, so there you go. I'm not watching baseball this year. I'm telling you, give it about 50 games into it, they'll turn it around. First 50 games are gonna be terrible. I wouldn't be surprised if they fire the acting coach right away.
Oh, they don't. They need pitching help now that.
Not just that, they need help for everyone now.
Yeah, they need help in the bullpen. They need help with pitching. They need help with hitting.
Bullpen, I'd be more concerned than anything. Most of them I wouldn't care, but bullpen's the priority.
Yeah.
The only good person in there is probably Chris Sale, and that's about it.
He's a starter. He's not a bullpen guy.
I know, but Chris Sale's like the only good person, the good pitcher. Everyone else is just terrible.
Yeah.
I wish he still had, what's his name? Koji Iwahara. Remember him?
Yeah.
I wish they still had him. They got rid of him.
Yeah.
He was a free agent. He signed somewhere else, but it would still be cool to have him as a closer.
Right.
Yeah, but I got nothing else to add.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if you guys like this video, give us a like.
And subscribe.
Until next time.